As I said in my introductory words, today is Shavuot, at least for a few more hours. And as I also mentioned, as I was growing up, I had absolutely no idea about this holiday. I didn't even know that it existed. It was only during college, in a Jewish studies class, that I learned about Shavuot. I've thought about why I didn't know about it. I suspect it's because we learn about the holidays in religious school, and religious school is out by the time Shavuot happens. You know, there's this funny thing that, Reform Judaism tends to operate on the academic calendar. We take the summer off as far as holy days go. So according to the Jewish tradition, Shavuot celebrates the giving of Torah at Sinai. It's a moment of joy for the Jewish people and all people. The questions are, how does Torah bring joy into our lives, and how does this deepen our spiritual life and enrich our daily experience? Many people imagine religion in stark terms. Religion is disciplined, even joyless. Joy is often seen as separate, but Judaism suggests something else. Shavuot teaches that a religious community can be joyful, inspiring hope and excitement for spiritual life. So today, many people are spiritually exhausted. We live in a culture filled with distraction and noise. Even joy is often reduced to consumption. Judaism offers something else. It urges us to connect with others, pulling us beyond ourselves and fostering a sense of belonging and warmth. Shavuot invites us to recover that kind of joy, not shallow happiness on a screen, not buying things from Amazon. Instead, it offers us a type of joy that connects to life itself. I'm happy to tell you this story. So over the past few weeks, we had the last sessions of religious school. And it's a lot like the end of school for the kids. Everybody is very happy to have religious school over and to be able to have fun in the summer with their friends and to go to camp, the things that kids do. So on the last day, there was an exception. A student came up to me and thanked me. And I just thought that was so beautiful. And it wasn't one of the little guys. To protect the innocent, I'll say it was someone somewhere between 6th and 10th grade. So that just really hit me, that we have a kid who's liking what we're doing and enjoys religious school and is able also to be mature enough to share that. So for Nachman of Bratslav, that type of joy is not something on the outskirts of religious life, it's central. It's a great mitzvah to be joyful always. That's what he says. Human life contains grief and struggle, and as I said, he was someone who suffered quite a bit and likely suffered from depression as well. But nonetheless, he taught that despair closes the soul while joy feeds it. Joy creates a spiritual openness. A person weighed down by bitterness or hopelessness becomes trapped within themselves. The mind circles over and over again on that unproductive and at times unavoidable question, why me? Joy breaks that constriction, it restores the spirit. In his teachings on Shavuot, in his book, Kedushat Levi, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev connects joy to revelation itself. Shavuot is not only the anniversary of receiving Torah 3,000 years ago, it's the continuing experience of divinity in the present. This is a really interesting thing. There's Eugene Borowitz, who was a professor at the rabbinic school in New York, at HUC in New York, who wrote about this idea of continual revelation. And I thought it was his idea. And here we have Rabbi Levi Yitzchak of Berdichev saying really the same thing, that revelation is an ongoing thing, that, it's happening right now. It's happening in this moment. So what he's really teaching is that Judaism is a living experience. It opens you up and offers the possibility of spiritual transformation. The Kiddushat Levi teaches that joy is essential because revelation cannot fully enter a person who's spiritually closed or weighed down with despair. Joy expands the soul. It creates openness. When the Israelites stood at Sinai, they were not simply receiving laws and obligations. They were entering into a relationship with God through love, wonder, and shared spiritual elevation. Torah in this reading is not meant to feel burdensome or distant. It's meant to bring vitality to human life. With this understanding, revelation at Sinai is not only about laws, but a call to awaken our souls and touch the part of our souls that are connected to God. Torah should bring joy, opening our hearts. On Shavuot, we eat sweet dairy foods, as I mentioned. One rabbinic interpretation connects the practice to the exact moment that the Torah was given at Sinai. This is a bit of a stretch. I'll say this right now before I say it. When the Torah was given, including the laws of keeping kosher, the Israelites realized that they could no longer eat milk and meat together, the meals that they had prepared, even though that's a rabbinic law, not a Torah law. A little bit of a stretch here. Their methods of preparing meat needed to change. During that transition, dairy foods became the simplest thing to eat. Revelation entered ordinary life. That's the key, is that revelation changed ordinary behavior like eating. The Israelites changed the way they cooked and ate, and as I mentioned, it's a bit of a stretch, but there's a good lesson in there. Another tradition points to a verse in Song of Songs, honey and milk are under your tongue. Torah becomes associated with sweetness, and dairy foods remind us that Torah is not meant to remain abstract, it's meant to shape everyday living. Perhaps that's why the custom endures among Orthodox Jews and even some secular Jews. It's a really common thing to do in Israel, even though you're secular. Not because of the deliciousness of ice cream and cheesecake, and I'm really hoping to get ice cream after services before sun goes down, but because revelation is carried out through ordinary acts of joy. Sharing sweet things around the table reminds us that holiness can be found in everyday actions, empowering us to bring spirituality into daily life. So Shavuot reminds us that revelation was never meant to only be on a mountain. Torah enters ordinary life. It enters homes and communities. It appears in moments of laughter and the feelings of belonging to something bigger than ourselves in the simple human experience of gathering together with people we care about. And that may be one of Judaism's really most powerful insights. Spiritual life is not meant to pull us away from being human. It's meant to experience our humanity. By one Hasidic tradition, that's why the Torah was not given to angels. Yes, there are angels in Judaism, at least in the Talmud. It was given to people because only people have bodies. Only people can do mitzvot. Only people can live with their hands reaching to heaven and their feet grounded to earth. The purpose of Torah is not perfection. It makes us feel happy. It creates the possibility of holiness in everyday life. And that's the message of Shavuot. In a world that often leaves people isolated and worn down, Judaism teaches that small actions bring us joy and that community nourishes the soul. So may we enter this Shavuot with open hearts. May we rediscover the joy that keeps the soul alive, and may Torah continue to bring vitality and connection into our lives and into our community. Chag Shavuot Sameach and Shabbat Shalom.